Hi there, this is Stargazer, and today I'm ranking all the killers from the Scream film franchise. Number 10, Amber Freeman. Amber Freeman is one of the most electric ghost faces in the entire Scream franchise. She's chaotic, vicious, and completely committed, and that's exactly what makes her unforgettable. She's one of the most brutal ghost faces. Amber doesn't hesitate. When she attacks, it's fast, savage, and shockingly aggressive. The hospital ambush, the party massacre, the sudden point-blank violence, she brings a level of physical intensity that makes Scream feel genuinely dangerous. There's no theatrical buildup, just pure slasher energy. Her reveal is wild. When she shoots Liv mid-sentence at the party, it's one of the most shocking reveals in the series. No monologue, no dramatic pause, just chaos. That moment instantly tells the audience this ghost face is unhinged. It's one of the boldest killer reveals since Scream 1. She fully commits to the toxic fandom theme. Amber isn't killing for money or simple revenge, she's killing to fix the Stab movies. Her obsession with franchise purity and legacy mirrors real-world toxic fandom culture. She represents gatekeeping, entitlement, and the belief that fans own a story. That meta-commentary fits perfectly with what Scream has always done best. She's chaotic in the best way. Once the mask comes off, she's unpredictable. She goes from fake innocence to gleeful maniac in seconds. The manic energy, the wild-eyed expressions, the sarcastic mockery, she makes the third act feel explosive instead of procedural. She doesn't just reveal herself, she performs. She's fearless. Amber stabs without hesitation, shoots without blinking, taunts survivors face to face, sets herself on fire, and keeps fighting. That last act, literally burning and still attacking, is one of the most intense visual moments in the entire franchise. Number 9, the Kersh family. I put the entire Kersh family together because they all have the same motive and they really work together well. Now, here's why I think they're great. They weaponize legacy in a smart way. The Kersh family, led by Detective Wayne Bailey and his children Ethan Landry and Quinn Bailey, are secretly the family of Richie Kersh from Scream. Instead of just being random copycats, they make the murders deeply personal. Their motive isn't fame, it's revenge for Richie's death. That twist reframes the previous movie and makes Scream 6 feel like a direct emotional sequel rather than just another installment. That level of inter-movie continuity, that's bold franchise storytelling. 3 ghost faces equals pure chaos. Most Scream films give us 1 or 2 killers. The Kersh family gives us 3 working together. That raises the stakes dramatically. Simultaneous attacks feels more believable, the subway sequence becomes even more terrifying, and the no one is safe feeling is amplified. It makes this ghost face feel omnipresent in a way that hasn't been since the original Scream, but updated for more modern paranoia. They're theatrical in the best way. When the reveal happens in the Shrine Theater, they fully commit. Wayne's unhinged monologue, Ethan's smug fanboy energy, Quinn's gleeful rage. It's classic over-the-top Scream villain camp, but updated with meta-commentary about toxic fandom and entitlement. They don't just want revenge, they want to rewrite Richie's legacy and blame Sam. That obsession with narrative control fits perfectly with the franchise's meta roots. They reflect modern fandom culture. Richie is obsessed with fixing Stab. His family doubles down on that mindset. They represent parasocial obsession, toxic fan entitlement, the refusal to accept canon. In a franchise that's always been about horror movies commenting on horror movies, this is one of the smartest thematic evolutions yet. Detective Bailey is a top-tier ghost face. Wayne Bailey stands out because he's law enforcement, he manipulates crime themes, he weaponizes authority. That duality makes him one of the most dangerous ghost faces in the series. They raise the brutality level. Scream 6 is one of the most aggressive entries in the franchise. The Kersh family stages a public bodega attack, uses a ladder death sequence, turns the shrine into a slasher battlefield. They escalate the franchise into big city survival horror territory. Number 8. Charlie Walker. Charlie Walker is one of the most underrated ghost faces in the franchise. He may not be the loudest or flashiest killer, but his intelligence, brutality, and tragic psychology make him a fascinating villain in Scream 4. He's the true horror nerd ghost face. Charlie isn't just pretending to love horror, he lives it. As president of the Woodsboro High Cinema Club and co-host of the Stabathon, he represents the ultimate evolution of Randy Meek's horror knowledge, but twisted into something darker. Unlike Randy, Charlie doesn't analyze the rules, he weaponizes them. He's brutal and efficient. Charlie's Ghostface is fast, strong, and relentless. He's responsible for some of the film's most intense attacks, including Olivia's shocking bedroom murder, the Stabathon massacre, the hospital rampage. The Olivia scene alone is one of the most graphic kills in the entire series, and it re-established that Scream could still genuinely shock audiences. He represents internet fame culture. Scream 4 was ahead of its time in exploring viral fame and online notoriety. Charlie wants to be part of a reboot, go viral, document the killings, create a new horror narrative. His obsession with filming everything mirrors early YouTube-era fame culture, long before influencer culture fully exploded. He's tragic in a dark way. What makes Charlie especially compelling is that he's not the mastermind. That role belongs to Jill. Charlie thinks he's building something with Jill. He believes they'll survive together and become famous, but he's ultimately just a pawn in her plan. When Jill betrays him, it's one of the coldest moments in the franchise. He isn't just a killer, he's manipulated, desperate for validation, and blinded by obsession. He's the perfect reboot Ghostface. Scream 4 comments on horror remakes and reboots, and Charlie fits that perfectly. He mirrors past killers, he updates their methods with technology, he treats murder like a media production. He's not just committing horror, he's producing it. Number 7. Richie Kersh. Richie Kersh represents toxic fandom in a smart way. Richie isn't killing for revenge or trauma, he's killing to fix a movie franchise. He believes the Stab films went downhill and wants to create better source material. That's one of the sharpest meta-commentaries in the entire Scream series. Instead of mocking horror tropes, the film critiques fan entitlement, canon obsession, online rage culture, the idea that fans own the stories. Richie embodies that mindset completely. He's a calculating manipulator. Unlike more chaotic Ghostfaces, Richie is methodical. He gets close to Sam emotionally, earns Tara's trust, manipulates friend groups, and plays innocent while guiding suspicion elsewhere. He isn't loud or impulsive, he's patient. That makes him more dangerous. His reveal is classic Scream energy. When he's revealed as the killer, the tone shifts instantly. Suddenly, the goofy boyfriend becomes smug, theatrical, and cold. It echoes the energy of Billy Loomis, but with a modern edge. Richie just doesn't want to kill, he wants narrative control. His death is cathartic and brutal. Richie's final confrontation with Sam is intense and symbolic. When she turns the knife on him and repeatedly stabs him, it's not just survival. It's her rejecting the narrative he tried to force onto her. His death scene is one of the most visceral in the series, making him unforgettable even in defeat. Number 6. Roman Bridger. Roman Bridger is one of the most ambitious and mythic Ghostfaces in the entire franchise. He's the only solo Ghostface. Roman stands out because he acts alone. No partner, no backup, no shared spotlight. Every phone call, every stage attack, every murder, it's all him. That makes him one of the most capable Ghostfaces physically and strategically. He weaponizes Hollywood. Unlike earlier killers obsessed with horror rules, Roman uses the movie industry itself as his playground. As the director of Stab 3, he manipulates scripts and sets, controls casting, hides in plain sight, and uses Hollywood chaos to mask real murders. It's the perfect fit for a film set in Los Angeles. The satire of fame, ego in industry, superficiality becomes part of his weaponry. He's theatrical and calculated. Roman isn't chaotic like Stu or Amber, he's composed, bitter, and strategic. His third act monologue isn't just about fame, it's about abandonment and resentment. He believes Sidney stole the life he deserved. That emotional motivation makes him feel more personal and tragic. He pushes Sidney towards closure. His confrontation with Sidney forces her to confront her family's past directly. When Sidney ultimately defeats him, it feels like she's finally severing the last tie to her mother's hidden life in the original Woodsboro trauma. Roman isn't just another Ghostface. He's the final chapter of the original trilogy's emotional arc. Number 5. Mickey Altieri. Mickey Altieri is one of the boldest and most self-aware Ghostfaces in the franchise. In Scream 2, he doesn't just kill, he turns murder into a media statement. He wants to get caught. Most Ghostfaces try to survive and escape. Mickey, he wants to be arrested. His plan is to blame violent movies, use the trial as a national stage, become infamous, turn himself into a cultural lightning rod. That's next level ambition. He's not just chasing fame, he's chasing notoriety. He's a commentary on media blame culture. Scream 2 leans into debates about whether horror movies cause violence. Mickey embodies that argument. He plans to say, "The movies made me do it." That makes him one of the most thematically sharp killers in the franchise. He's not acting out of family revenge or fandom obsession, he's exploiting cultural panic for attention. It was incredibly timely in the late 90s and still feels relevant today. He's physically intense as Ghostface. Mickey's Ghostface is aggressive and athletic. He stalks through crowded public spaces, attacks in broad daylight, executes the brutal cop car sequence, and fights Sidney head-on in the theater. His physicality makes Ghostface feel dangerous, again after the first film. He's a film student, which is perfect. As a film student, Mickey lives inside cinema culture. That's such a clever evolution of the formula. Billy Loomis, he was the horror-obsessed boyfriend. Mickey is a film theory student who understands narrative and media discourse. He doesn't just know horror rules, he understands how society reacts to horror. His reveal is chaotic. The theater reveal is pure Scream energy. He goes from background character to manic spotlight stealer instantly. The wild grin, the exaggerated gestures, the trial speech, he performs villainly. His theatrical without being sloppy. He feels ahead of his time. The idea of someone committing violence specifically to become a media spectacle and manipulate public discourse feels disturbingly modern. Mickey predicted viral crime culture, courtroom celebrities, true crime obsession. He wasn't just reacting to horror movies, he was trying to become one. Number 4, Nancy Loomis. Nancy Loomis, aka Debbie Salt, is one of the smartest and most emotionally driven ghost faces in the franchise. In Scream 2, she flips the script by turning a revenge story into something deeply personal and psychologically sharp. She's the first revenge ghost face. While others kill for fame or obsession, Nancy's motive is brutally simple: revenge for her son, Billy. That connection makes her one of the most emotionally grounded killers in the series. She isn't chasing internet fame or cinematic legacy, she's driven by grief and rage, even if that grief is twisted by denial. She reinvents herself to get close. Nancy just doesn't show up with a knife. She undergoes cosmetic surgery, assumes a fake identity, infiltrates Gale's media circle, and observes Sidney from a distance. That level of long game planning makes her one of the most methodical ghost faces ever. She's patient and calculating, far more strategic than many of her successors. She's a dark mirror to Sidney. Her dynamic with Sidney is one of the strongest emotional confrontations in the series. Nancy blames Sidney for Billy's death, refusing to accept that her son was a murderer. It's a chilling example of parental denial. Instead of holding Billy accountable, she sifts the blame onto Sidney. That psychological deflection makes her disturbingly realistic. She deepens the franchise's family themes. By connecting directly to the original killer, Nancy keeps the emotional thread of the first film alive. Scream 2 doesn't feel like a random sequel because she ties it directly back to Woodsboro. She proves that trauma doesn't end when the credits roll. It evolves. Number 3, Stu Macher. Stu Macher is pure chaotic energy, and that's exactly why he's one of the most iconic ghost faces in horror history. In Scream, he turns the third act into an unhinged, unforgettable spectacle. He's the definition of chaotic evil. Where Billy Loomis is cold and calculated, Stu is impulsive and manic. He laughs at the wrong times, he overreacts, he talks too much, he treats murder like a twisted party game. That wild unpredictability makes him terrifying and entertaining at the same time. Peer pressure is his motive. When Stu says he did it because of peer pressure, it's darkly hilarious and deeply unsettling. It highlights his immaturity, his need for approval, his lack of moral grounding. He isn't driven by trauma or revenge, he's driven by influence and thrill. That makes him uniquely reckless. He makes the third act of the original Scream legendary. The kitchen reveal scene is iconic largely because of Stu's performance. The fake crying, the exaggerated panic, the sudden mood swings. He keeps escalating the tension while also injecting absurd humor. It's a balancing act that defines the tone of the entire franchise. He helped create the Ghostface legacy. Without Stu, there's no Ghostface duo dynamic. He establishes the two-killer twist, the chaotic partner dynamic, the idea that killers can have wildly different personalities. Every duo after him, Mickey, Charlie, Amber, Ethan, owes something to Billy and Stu template. Number 2, Jill Roberts. Jill Roberts isn't just a ghost face. She's one of the smartest, coldest, and most culturally ahead of its time villains in the entire franchise. In Scream 4, she completely flips the formula. She reverses the final girl trope. For most of the movie, Jill is positioned as the new Sidney, the shy, trauma-adjacent cousin who seems destined to survive. Then the reveal happens. Instead of being the next Sidney Prescott, she wants to replace her. That inversion is genius. The final girl becomes the mastermind. Her motive was way ahead of its time. Jill doesn't kill for revenge, she doesn't kill for trauma, she kills for fame. Her speech about not needing talent, just attention, predicted influencer culture before it fully exploded. She wants media sympathy, viral recognition, survivor celebrity status, and instant cultural relevance. In 2011, that was sharp satire. In hindsight, it feels prophetic. The self-inflicted attack scene is legendary. Jill staging her own victimization might be one of the most shocking sequences in Scream history. She throws herself into a glass table, rips out her own hair, smashes herself into walls, and rehearses her trauma narrative. It's disturbingly brutal and darkly satirical all at once. She literally manufactures her own final girl story. That scene alone makes her iconic. She nearly wins. Jill comes closer than almost any Ghostface to actually succeeding. If not for one final hospital confrontation, she would have framed everyone else, become America's new horror heroine, fully rewritten the narrative. That proximity to victory makes her threat feel real. Number 1, Billy Loomis. Billy Loomis isn't just a Ghostface. He's the blueprint. In Scream, he helped redefine what a slasher villain could be. Charming, meta-aware, and psychologically manipulative. He created the modern Ghostface formula. Before Billy, most slasher villains were silent, masked forces of nature. Billy changed that. He talks about horror rules, understands genre structure, manipulates narrative expectations, uses media awareness as part of his persona. Ghostface becomes more than a killer, it becomes a performance, and Billy is half of that original design. The boyfriend twist still hits. Billy plays the suspicious boyfriend trope perfectly. He's intense but romantic, protective yet volatile, just obvious enough to distract you. When he's arrested early in the film, it lowers suspicion. That fake out is one of the smartest misdirects in horror history. The reveal still lands because the movie makes you doubt yourself. His motive is personal. Billy's anger over his parents' divorce, blaming Sidney's mother for their affair, grounds the horror in messy, human resentment. It's petty, it's selfish, it's cruel. That emotional pettiness makes him feel disturbingly real. He isn't killing for spectacle, he's killing out of a wounded ego and misplaced blame. He delivers an iconic third act. The kitchen reveal scene is legendary, and Billy's shift from brooding boyfriend to smug killer is a huge reason why. His line deliveries, his composure, the staged self-inflicted stabbing, it's theatrical but controlled. He understands the movie he's in. He's deeply influential. Nearly every Ghostface after him echoes something Billy established. Mickey's media manipulation, Roman's calculated bitterness, Jill's narrative control, Richie's fandom obsession. Even when later killers evolve the formula, Billy remains the standard they're measured against. He defines the franchise's core theme. Scream is about horror movies, but it's also about trust. Billy weaponizes intimacy, he hides behind love, he turns vulnerability into leverage. That betrayal is what makes the original film hit so hard emotionally. But tell me what your ranking would be. And remember, it's always someone you know.